trouble with Scotland is that it's full of Scots.
Your assignment tonight is strategic. You can't give the enemy a break. Send them to hell.
When things look bad, and it looks like you're not gonna make it, then you gotta get mean. I mean plumb mad dog mean. Because if you lose your head and you give up, then you neither live nor win. That's just the way it is.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Well, good evening. Good evening to Albie. Welcome back to VP4 TV. My XSplit broadcaster is sort of working. I installed audio drivers to see if that might be the issue, so there still is a slight issue. I don't know what it is, but we are here, and we're here for what really is the first semi-final match in this year's VP4 2022 10-ball World Championships. This tournament started on the 31st of August, and we are, the 25th of October, so we're going to be going 2 months before this thing is over. And tonight we have the one-loss side match, the first semi-final match between Mr. Bill from the USA and Spectredawn from the United Kingdom, who seems to have a US flag, and Bill has a UK flag. I don't know how I get that mixed up, but we'll fix that in 2 seconds. Hang on. Just give me a minute. This thing's lagging up slightly. Try to drag the flag across and it won't move. Ah, wait a minute, I know why it won't move. That's no good. Hang on a minute here, we're all over the bloody place. Right. That's better. Come on. So you try to do this in a small monitor. Anyway, welcome to Spectre. And if you just give me 2 seconds, I'm just going to tab out. Yeah, he's not there yet. So the winner of this match is going to go through to play Barker's in the second semi-final. Barker's, of course, the sort of unknown at this game. Current virtual world snooker champion. But he's had a decent run. He's not played as good as the best players in this tournament, but has been good enough to beat most that he's played. And he's still going to be tough opposition to either of these two. Good evening to Mark. But the thing is, who wants this most? Spectredawn wants it a lot, because I've always said he's the one player who can win as many Friday night 9 balls as he wants. But he's got no claim to anything until he can do it and beat the best in the World Championships. He's in Last Chance Saloon on the one-loss side, as of course is Bill. We've got 3 players who are unknown at this level, and their stub got himself muted already. I already told him, but he doesn't. He's determined to keep using the caps lock button, so that's him muted just for an hour to start with. Sylvia says only 60 minutes. 2 seconds. Quick tab again. And get. That's the wrong button. Hang on about that. Hang on a minute. I'm all over the place here. Just hang on a minute. Hang on a minute, guys. I'll be with you in a sec. I'm just trying to get Steve in and get this bloody Discord to work.
Welcome to VP4 TV. You're watching a Tactical Genius production. Please welcome your commentary team for this match, 9ball.com and Super Admin aka Steve Chaplin, CEO and President of Celeris, Inc.
Good evening.
Good luck to both players and have a good one.
Good evening, all.
And you can see the audio is going funny because I lost my music soundtrack there. It's weird. Anyway, Steve joining us for tonight's match. Steve will give his opinion on who he thinks and why they should win this match. And they're going to be facing Barkers in the second semi-final.
Yeah, this is a hard one to call. I think Spectredawn runs out a little better than Bill does, but I think Bill does some of the other things like playing safe, banking, kicking better than Spectredawn. So I think it could go any way. I'd give the slight edge to Spectredawn. I think Bill needs to get in that mode where he's playing really good. I think if Bill can get in that mode, I think that he's the favorite to win.
Well, I think there's I've been thinking as to what the difference would be between the two. And I think the main difference, I think, is, having watched a lot of these Friday Night 9 balls, is that Spectredawn has a pretty good knack at getting runouts from positions that are not always the greatest. But he's still got to be really hungry for it to do that tonight again. But I think that would give him the edge because he's got a lot of practice at running out in dodgy situations. Bill's table time is sort of during the day, on and off, in between doing his work. So that I can only see that as being a slight edge, apart from the fact that we know the other factors. I think the other thing is who's going to capitalise on the dry breaks? Who's going to make the most of them? Right, the room is up.
Well, I mean, there's no doubt that Bill breaks better. All you have to do is look at the stats to see that Bill breaks considerably better than Spectredawn. So that will negate some of the advantage Spectredawn has in running out. And Albin just said Bill has a good chance if he's on his desktop. I didn't realize that sometimes he's on a laptop, but I have seen Bill play really well. And I think if Bill gets in that mode where he's really on it, he's going to be the favorite.
Well, we missed a lag, but Bill won it.
Yeah, and what happened? Did he break dry?
I presume he did, because Spectredawn's at the table. And he's got the cue ball right round onto that 4.
Yeah, and that was really the last ball that was going to be tricky to get on at all. I mean, the rest of this is pretty simple.
This is the perfect start for Spectredawn.
Well, he got himself a little straight here. He may end up having to play the 6-9 combo. See if he decides to try to get around the backside. He is trying to get around the backside. Maybe he's going to play for the side pocket.
Yeah.
Well, he's pretty good on that.
Gets on the mark more often than not.
Yeah, this should be a good match. I mean, I don't think anybody's getting blown out. Of course, I've said that before, and then we've seen some crazy scores.
Oh yeah, sorry about that, guys. I was so focused on the on the game. Hang on a minute. There we go. Apologies. Oh dear, what happened there? I saw a lag in the screen. I wonder if that's got anything to do with it. Did anybody see that? Did you see that lag when he went to shoot there on that 8-ball? I think something.
If there's a little lag in the system, it wouldn't make a miss.
Yeah.
It might make a problem with the stroke, but the speed he hit it was reasonable. I think he just missed it.
That was a shocker of a miss there then by Spectredawn. And
It sure was.
And where's this cue ball going?
Watch out.
Where's the cue ball going?
Yeah.
You've got to take care of Whitey. I mean, it was a good bank, but you've got to take care of Whitey.
Oh dear, Bill. Well, Bill's got to be kicking himself there. I mean, the bank, he had the right pace, but you've got to sort of check the cue ball, I think, as well, maybe just to alter the path slightly.
Well, first you've got to realize it's running on the path that you go in the corner.
Yeah.
Which realizing means you have to kind of understand where it's going, and I think Bill probably does good enough. I think it's more of a case where he just didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
He just, assumed it'd be okay and hit it.
Well, this first rack's anything to go by. The rest of them's going to be a bit weird. I mean...
Wow, no, there's a terrible safety.
Oh, dear. Well, Spectredawn's weakness... That's the other thing that we've seen, Steve. Spectredawn's weakness is picking a decent safety. Particularly
that wasn't a bad
things.
safety to pick, but he hit it really poorly.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that Bill's gonna bank, kick, and play safe better than Spectredawn. And we know Spectredawn runs out better than Bill. So, it's going to be an interesting match because, really either one of them could win. I mean, it's really going to come down to mistakes. Bill made a huge one last time.
Oh, dear. This ain't getting
there
either.
one.
Well,
that's a combination of hitting it easy so the ball throws more, combined with he's trying to not hit it too thin because he doesn't want to lose the cue ball behind the 10.
Well,
and, the solution to that's simple is you just hit it with more speed and come all the way across between the 9 and 10 and off the rail, which, if you're confident in the line you're moving the cue ball in, that's a very easy shot.
Well, he's maybe a bit worried about moving the cue ball and losing the cue ball. He's going to lose the rack.
I would think that's probably what happened, but you've got to have confidence. You've got to play with confidence, and part of that's not being afraid of, what if I hit one of these balls? You got to make the cue ball go on the path you want, and play with confidence that you can do it. As soon as you start playing scared, like, well, what if it does this? As soon as you start playing that what if game, you're going to make bad decisions, and not only that, you're probably going to dog it.
Yeah, you can't be in doubt. You've got to be positive about what you're doing and how the cue ball's going. But Bill's dug a hole for him straight away in these first two racks. First rack should have been his.
Yeah, but I don't think it'll bother Bill. I've watched Bill enough to know that he could turn around and start playing great at any time.
This is dry cue ball again. Cue ball has gone again. Now here we go. This is a disaster of a start for Bill. Spectredawn's looking at trying to catch the 10 there with the 1, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, but, this is an easy table. I would expect he's going to run this out. Probably 3 to 4 is the most critical shot, getting on the 3 good. And he's already got out of line. That's not the line you want to be on because you need to shoot the 3 in the corner. So he's already funny. He's trying to get to the side pocket, and he's not going to get there. Yeah, maybe he is. Maybe he's got enough of it. He can run this cue ball. He'll probably run. The cue ball will probably run into the 6. It may get by it. It's close there.
Yeah,
on a natural path.
You know, the commentator's eye tells you he's running over that way. Is he going to get into the gap or a little nudge?
Yeah.
We'll take that.
Yeah, he was going to be fine because worst case he was going to bump that 6, and he's fine on this. So I mean, he's out. I mean, it's almost a foregone conclusion. I'm going to call him. This is a run out at this point.
Well, he wants to get an angle on this 6 ball. First thing he needs to do, because he wants to be good to come down for the 7. He's a bit of an angle the other way. Now, if he draws back, he might be bumping the 8.
Yeah. Well, obviously the 8 ball is was an issue. Now it's not really. I mean, you'd have to do something stupid to hook yourself on a 9.
Well, loads of checking the cue ball to avoid that. Well, this is a nightmare start for Bill. You can't butter this up. This is a horrible start. And already he needs favours, but he's already had a favour from Spectredawn and he turned that down.
Yeah, Spectredawn's doing what he does well, which is run out. Excuse me, I inhaled a cookie.
Well, you need to make sure you exhale it quickly.
Yeah, I'm trying to exhale it right now.
So Spectredawn's break in rack number 4 is dry. Bill, I think, can feather the 1 in. He's going to have to play a 2-5 combo.
Yeah, I think he's got to decide which side of the 7 he's going. Well, he decided to run into it. That's fine.
I think he's pretty perfect on this.
Yeah, except the fact that, you know, the 2 ball is going to come to the end rail and the 10 ball's there. This is a little tricky to get on the 2 ball.
I think he's going to nurse this in. Yeah, he's just going to nurse it into.
Yep. Well done.
Take the legs off the 2.
A little, and that was well done.
Well, this is a problem. Is he going to try and bump that 10 and still see the 3?
This is a little tricky. You can get behind it, but this is tricky. Yeah, all kinds of bad stuff can happen here. I'd probably try to go behind it myself.
Oh,
he decided to bump it.
He's going to be in no man's land here.
You know, that was a pretty good play. It didn't work out for him, but that was actually a pretty good play. He got the cue ball running on a good line. He just hit a little too hard.
Well, is he calling the bank? He hasn't so far. He's just ducking for cover here. And he looks as if he's got a reasonable line. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's good.
And I think strategy-wise, this is a good call because, you know, you already know Spectredawn doesn't kick that well or play safe that well. So getting in a moving game is going to get you ball in hand more often than not. And, you know, this play is not so wonderful.
Well, he's just decided to tie the 3 up.
Well, it's
actually,
not really tied up.
I think it's a dead combo. It's a dead combo.
It'll throw just enough to make the 6 ball. But it's not going to throw that way. You got to shoot it from out more towards the center of the table. You want to put the cue ball just on the outside of the 8 ball. He's looking like he's going to play safe again. Maybe he's going to try to 3 foul him.
Look at the gap on that 3-7. I would have went for that.
I would have too.
I mean, the gap was there that you can actually, you know, make that, I think.
But anyway, again, making Spectredawn kick balls over and over and over again isn't a bad strategy at this point. Kind of try to take him out of his game.
Well, that's the thing I talk about as well. I mean, if you're struggling to get in the game, then you have to use everything in your armory to take the other guy off his stride. you know,
He just tried to shoot a shot that wasn't going to go. He tried to play off the 3 ball into the 7 and get to 7 and run down to the 6 and hit it about as good as he could. It just, that shot wasn't possible the way they were sitting.
well, the combo now down the rail. Now, where's the 4 ball going to finish? Because the cue ball's going to come out into the middle of the table.
It's going to be fine. I mean, at this angle, it doesn't really matter. You know, it could have come out a little. I mean, he was going to leave the cue ball on the spot where it was going to be good. So it's looking like Bill's finally going to get on the board.
Yeah, and good news for him is he'll have another chance next round in his break.
Yeah, well, Bill's an experienced player. He's not going to panic. We've seen him, you know, come from behind before. You know, it wasn't the best start for him, but I mean, it's early in the match. He certainly can win this match, and I think he did the right thing this game by playing some safeties, and I think he needs to do that more in this match too. I mean, I think he just needs to stay away from taking shots that are too risky, play safe, and you know, make Spectredawn kick at balls.
That's the thing about 9-ball players, though, Steve. They are so. I mean, 9-ball is an aggressive game, and it's like an inbuilt instinct to try and pot everything. I mean, that's what you want to do, but sometimes you've just got to know when to leave things well alone and make it difficult for your opponent. Well, he's got the ball in the break. The 4 ball is gone. This 1 ball, let's have a look at it from his side. Well, I think his first thing he's got to do is, and he's stuck to the point of the pocket almost. You'd have to jack up to get into this to try and make sure you avoid that.
I think it's pretty close. I think it's pretty close here, whether it gets to the titty or not. He's going to jack up and shoot it in the side, and that was really well done. Took the speed off of it.
That'll do it.
Yep, that was very well done.
So we know where the problem lies here. The problem lies getting from the 5 back up to the 6. And he's pretty straight in this 3.
That's really not too bad because
he's got to control.
You can run all the way to the. You can run all the way to the end rail if you want.
Look at this. That'll do it.
You know, my take on this shot is just run it to the end rail. Because if you run it to the end rail, it's not very speed sensitive.
Well, it needs the legs, Bill. It needs the legs. And I think he's just got there.
Got there. See, that's a mistake playing it that way. If you run it to the end rail, it gives you a lot more room for error. He barely got there that way.
Balls are appearing and disappearing on YouTube. I think it's your eyes pop, man. Well, remember, you need to change the quality of the stream down in the bottom right hand corner. Spectre says everything's fine on YouTube. I presume everything's fine on what do you call it, Twitch. And Bill's got himself funny here. And he's going to finish behind the 8.
He's going to get funny again. I think it's too much Paca-Lolo is what it is. Boy, and you know, it's tough to play safe here. He's going to shoot it, and this is what you don't want, is missing a ball like this.
That's a great shot.
And he's got another shot that he's going to have to make.
The replay of that
this looks like Bustamante. I remember watching Bustamante play one pocket, and he hit one unbelievable shot after the other, and he just keep making them. Didn't matter how hard they were. But that's a tough way to play pool for most of us mortals.
Well, Bill's finding the line in these pots. I mean, they're not just dropping in off jaws; they're going straight in.
Yeah, well, we've all seen when Bill gets it rolling, he can really play well. And obviously the bad start didn't bother him because he managed to break and run out there. And now Spectredawn's got to be thinking that he's going to have to play.
We'll discuss that later on, semi-pro. we've also got, is Larry there? Is Larry in the tournament?
Well, let's see what he does here. He's probably going to shoot the combo, is my guess.
We've got to discuss a suspected bug in the double sign-up process that we need clarifying.
He's shooting the combo and not making it. See, that's a place where you just don't want to shoot that shot. I mean, that's just not an easy combo. If you're really sure of it, yeah, but he missed it by a mile. That's where you should be playing safe. If you're not sure about that, you play safe.
Now, who is King Air Pilot? Reveal yourself. Good evening and welcome. Well, Bill's got it back to within one. He's got a chance here. Well, that one's finished nice there. Just, I think, a roll in, is it? What's the angle like? Yeah,
yeah,
fine.
He's fine. He can roll up past the two.
Oh, we know there's also the positional shot going from this 3 to the 6.
Well, Bill's one of the guys I'd like to see win a world championship.
I'd like to see Bill do well as well, and it's a tough call because Spectredawn deserves to win something, but he's got to prove it.
Well,
but Albie might have something to say with that, as does Barkers and Stubb. Well, I've already got it updated.
I imagine he's going to bank this. This is a little tricky, though, getting from the 6 to the 7.
Nope.
Okay, he decided to go a different way.
Well, the legs are good in the cue ball again. The only problem is
he came up a little short. He didn't want to be there because he wanted to sneak behind and shoot the 7 in the side. Yeah, this is getting a little tricky here. He didn't get where he wanted. He came up short of where he wanted to be. So he's going to spin this over. This is a delicate shot.
He's overcut it. He's trying to get really cute. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he got where he needed to on the 7, but when you pump that much English on the ball, it's going to squirt quite a bit.
Well, he's got to push through in this, I think, to get the 9 out of the way. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, last rack, Bill got a little out of line, a little out of line, a little out of line, and he kept making the shots. He did the same thing this rack, and he didn't make the shots. And I think, that's the problem with being out of line, is that eventually it's going to catch up with you. You need to get the cue ball in line. If you get out of line, you need to get it back into line. Bill got funny on the 3, and then you got, came up short on the 6. Now, granted, it went the whole way around the table, and it was only about a foot short. But you know how pool is. A foot in that angle with that situation was no good. So Bill's got a ball in, but he does not have a shot on the 2 ball. So, this is where, you push to a bank, you push to a kick. You don't push to something Spectredawn can shoot at.
Yeah. Well, Spectredawn's got a chance of a 2-10 combo here. I mean,
he won't. I don't think he'll shoot that. That would surprise me. That's a poor shot. From here, you should play safe. I mean, you could shoot the 2 in the upper right corner, but the problem is that, it's tricky to get on the 3. This is definitely a shot you'd want to play safe on.
Just trying to lock up.
And that's a good play there.
Yeah.
And, Bill left that a little too easy, really. Yeah. I mean, because that wasn't a difficult shot. Well, in that situation, you need to leave at most a piece of the ball or make them kick at it. You don't want to leave a whole ball like that, especially, when it's not that far away.
Well, this is all out for the pot. I think he's going to need a nice little roll here to get something on this 3 ball because it's let's just say its options are restricted in terms of what pocket it's going into.
Well, he's
He's
playing
decided
safe.
he's wanting to play safe, which is probably the wise move.
Yeah, that's not bad. I don't think that's a safe I would have played, but he got away with it. I mean, he's got him hooked. Now, this is a pretty easy kick, and it's a kick that you could get safe on. It's a two-railer. Oh, you could see the edge. I take that back. I didn't realize you could see the edge of the ball.
Yeah, and Spectredawn can see all of the ball this time. He can have
well, off a little on the speed, and you got to decide what you're going to do here, because you got to get on that 3-ball, or it's not worth shooting at this 2. I think he's going to play safe. And that's the right play in that situation, because that was a simple safe.
Well, the 2-ball's a big target to hit.
Well, you try to kick this baby in, just like he's doing. And the good thing about this is the cue ball might hit the 4, it might get by it, but it's going up table. And that's why that's a good shot, because there's a real good chance you're going to get something like that. And you know, it's not, and you notice the speed Bill hit it at. He didn't slam it. He hit it at a speed where he had a good chance of coming up with the safety. And he's going to get rewarded.
Well, does he go for this?
I think he does. I mean, it's not a hard shot. You just got to get the speed right on the cue ball.
Yeah, I'm saying,
that's the tricky part.
I mean, I'm saying, does he go for it? What I'm saying is does he go for it with the idea that he's going to get somewhere on this 3-ball?
Well, he put quite a bit of English on that, and I wouldn't have done that. If I put any English at all, it would be a teeny bit, like a quarter tip. Okay. I mean, he put considerable English on that. It caused him to miss the ball, and he didn't need that much English.
No, I'm not sure what he played there. But well, anyway, the end result will do it.
He was shooting the ball. He wasn't doing this.
Well,
and that's another bad safety.
That's really bad.
Well, you know, I think Spectredawn realizes he's probably listened to the stream and heard me talk about his lack of moving game, and he's trying. The problem is it looks like he's trying, you know, in the middle of the tournament instead of going and practicing these shots. Maybe he has practiced it. I guess it's not fair of me to say that, but you know, it's not one of these things that you're going to learn overnight, you know, how to move well. So, you know, you got to give him credit for attempting to make the right plays, but his execution hasn't been very good.
Now, the simple thing with Spectredawn is he just does not get that sort of practice anyway in his game, because if he's predominantly played 9-ball all the time, he doesn't really get an awful lot of chances to be kicking at balls. And there's a mistake from Bill again. It's going to be painful, Bill, this rack, I think.
It wasn't a severe miss, but it was enough that it didn't go in. And this is a sort of rack that, you know, Bill needs to be winning, because, you know, he outmoved him a couple times, and, you know, he's going to end up losing a rack. So he did the right thing, but didn't get the reward.
Well, he's looking odds on to end up back to square one here, trailing by 3. Yeah, what I was saying there, Steve, is if you watch Spectredawn on Friday night 9-ball, most of the time he's running the table. You know, there's going to be the odd time where he might end up hooked or something, but it's a rare occasion. So he's not getting practice. And I mean, very rarely is he going to be playing safety in Friday night 9-ball. He's going for a run out, so he's just simply not got that practice. And when you don't have that practice, you don't have that touch and feel for certain types of shots. So in his own defence, he's that bloody good at running the table. He doesn't really need to do that, but now he's in a game where he's suddenly finding out a bit late in the day that, hang on a minute here, these guys are locking me up, these guys are doing this, and he's having to come up with answers, and he's struggling.
Well, I mean, it would make him a better 9-ball player too, but you're right that this game is going to require more of that than 9-ball will. But, you know, if he wants to win a 9-ball world championship, it's going to come down to the same thing when he's playing one of the better players. Is the lack of ability to move is going to hurt him. Just not as bad as it does in 10-ball.
Oh, look at the 10-ball. I thought that was going to hang.
Wow. Well, really good break and not a...
well, he can...
This is a tough ball to try to kick in because just the direction the cue ball would go. So he pushes out, and that's a terrible push out.
Nope.
He deserves to get locked up for that push out. That is just no good. You can't leave a guy this.
Well, he's got to miss the 9-ball here with this 2-ball if he's trying to get...
Well, he doesn't. No, that's not a very good play there
that's
either.
A billiard on the 6.
Yeah, that's not a very good play either. Yeah, I mean, there's a terrible push and then a bad safety.
Yeah. And the 2-ball is going to be dead.
Well, he didn't do a very good job of figuring out where the 2-ball was going there. You can shoot this bank. I mean, it's a pretty good bank to shoot at. The cue ball is going into the 8-ball. You know, if you don't hit this too hard, you're going to hit the 8-ball pretty full. It doesn't look like he's going to shoot at it, though.
He's not called it.
That wasn't a bad idea. He didn't get the safe. That was kind of tricky to get him on the 9. See what Bill can do here. I mean, I would be going up table and trying to get him on the 4-ball. Bill's going to go that way, which isn't a bad choice. He had a couple different options there for blockers, and
yeah, he's got cover, an easy kick, and I'd be calling this into the side every day.
Yeah, it's an easy kick. It's not a great safe, but then on the other hand, you're playing a guy that doesn't kick that good, and, you know, even if somebody that kicks good, this is the best 50-50 on this kick. Well, he made a pretty good go at it, but it's not in the hole.
Well,
now Bill really needs to run out here.
Yeah, this is a pressure visit for Bill. Now, the problem is the angle that he's got. Now, he needs a load of...
hit this with a lot of English,
yeah,
and that's not enough.
Yeah, he's going to have to kick
I watched where he hit the cue ball. He could have got the tip out further. That 10-ball was really in play there. You really had to try to move the cue ball.
Now, why is he not going up and down for that?
Well, that's a foul.
No.
Oh, did he get the rail?
Yeah, I'm surprised.
God, it must have just got the rail.
I'm surprised he didn't go up and down to kick that 3-ball.
Boy, that 3-ball must have just caught the rail, because that thing looked like it was going to be a...
I think it might be nailed to the rail.
It's pretty close.
Yeah,
it must have just brushed the rail. Well, he shot at it. That was an easy ball to shoot at. He shot it in a way where he might get safe, but he doesn't. Now he's going to get locked up. Now, this is a real easy safe. You hit this with a little bit of right English, bump the 3-ball over and take the cue ball and just pin it on the 8-ball. You've got to make sure you get the 3-ball past the 8. This is kind of a touch shot. A lot of English and hit it easy. And he's going to play it a way where he couldn't get the pin on that, but he was
kicking this.
More guaranteed of getting safe.
I'll tell you something, Bill will be kicking himself in a minute if this goes in, because he had a chance to do the same thing 2 minutes ago and he refused it and played the safe.
Well, this is not an easy kick with that sitting.
Well,
you know, the 3-ball was too far off the rail. If it was, you know, closer to the rail, it was a pretty easy kick. But
this time it worked
even though it was only an inch, that's a big inch. You need to be like 1/8 to 1/4 off the rail to make that a really big ball.
That's a big inch, as the nun said to the priest.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, Bill cannot fail here, but he's going to find it tough, because I think he's got himself in probably the worst position here. He's almost straight in this 5, and I don't think he can get the cue ball there, Steve.
This is no good. You're going to have to put a lot of left English on this and try to get it to go around the corner. Yeah. You cannot do this with top. This is mostly left English and really juice it up and try to get it to spin out. Oh, he's gonna.
That'll do it.
He's going to draw it. That's a great shot.
That'll do.
I mean, that 10 ball was pretty big there, and he got right around it. Bill's played a good match so far. He's down 5-2 from a bunch of little stuff. He got a slow start, and there's been some little things, but Bill's actually played pretty well. I think he's his strategy's been good. He's had a couple balls that didn't go in. He just had a terrible start.
Now, if I remember as well, Bill's break stats are probably about one of the best in the tournament.
His break stats are pretty good. I took a look before they started. They were considerably better. He was making like 0.85 balls per break compared to, I think, Spectredawn was like around 0.6 something. So, yeah, his break stats are a lot better. But runouts from the break, Spectredawn had 8 and Bill had 7. So he's not doing as good in that category. Especially considering the fact that he's making considerably more balls on the break, which means he has more chances at it.
Yeah, well, Bill's dry.
Bill's dry. This is an easy bank. This table, the 7 ball is going to be the biggest issue.
Oh dear, the 8 ball's maybe a bigger issue.
The 8 ball's a bigger issue right now. He may be able to get by this. I think he can see the edge of this 2 ball enough to make it.
Oh yeah, he can get it. Yeah. He's got a little bit of left on it.
And he's just going to make sure he gets a shot on the 3, which I think is smart. So, really, ideally, if you can get on this 4 ball right and bump the 10.
Well, that's just.
I would play to get to this early, like right now. He's not going to. So
this is one of these racks I was talking about, though.
If he can force this over and get straighter on the 5, then he can pull this cue ball back into it. He's a little straight. He's going to have to cheat the pocket and force this if he wants to move it over. So he's not going to do that, and I'm not sure what he's going to do to the 7. I don't know that he can make it with the 10 ball. I think the 10 ball's too close.
I can't get to that.
So he could play a carom on the 10 or a billiard on the 10. That's doable, and that may be what he's thinking, because it's sitting pretty good for that.
Well, I think you've got to be down. He's going for the breakout.
Yeah.
And where he is now is no good for a carom, but if he'd finished sort of here...
Yeah, I bet he didn't even take a look at it, because the carom's pretty good on that. He probably never even looked at it, and... that's a pretty good safety play.
Yeah. Bill's in trouble. Well, Bill's maybe not in trouble.
Bill can see the edge of the 7 ball.
Now he's going to get it really thin, and it might bump to the 10. I don't know.
He's got to hit this thin. And that's well done. That was beautiful, boy.
That brown that brown mark in the cloth there is actually a bit of paint off that 7 ball.
Well, he's got an edge here, but this shot could leave something. I doubt he's going to get a hook.
That's not the best shot in the world, I don't think.
Well, that was a tough situation. I mean, he's left the shot, and Bill's probably going to win this game because of it. I mean, that was, even though he wasn't that far away and he had the edge, that was kind of a tricky play there.
Well,
because if you hit it hard enough to try to get back to that 8 ball, you really risk selling out.
8 in the side if the cue ball stays in the table. And now he's fine.
Yeah, he's perfect. He just roll forward and he's good.
What I was talking about a little bit earlier was the fact that this is one of these racks where Spectredawn, in this case, has come in from the dry break from Bill and looking to pinch the rack from it, and Bill's going to get out of jail here, so that's a chance missed by Spectredawn, and what it's costing him is that Bill's going to be back within 1.
Well, I'm surprised he didn't look at the billiard on that 10, because I thought that was, at least an 80%er. It was, I'm not saying it couldn't be missed, but you had to get the cue ball in the right spot.
Aye, but the thing is you look at the shot he was trying to do, and look at the other odds of actually getting that cue ball somewhere over in the top left-hand corner portion of the table to play that billiard. and at least give himself a shot at it.
And look at this. It's dry, and Bill's got a good table.
Combo straight away.
So one pocket slim. Well, what you missed was Bill had a terribly slow start. He was down 3-0, but he's slowly coming back. Spectredawn's doing his normal, running out a lot, but Bill's playing smart. He's playing safe. He's outmoved Spectredawn, which we expected. He's made a few mistakes, but you know, Bill's like a bulldog. You know, he's not going to go away. You're not going to get an easy match against Bill, except that one. What was that one match we watched where Bill was sick or something? Played terrible. That's the only time I've really seen him play poorly.
That was early in the tournament, wasn't it? That's not going in. He made me sick again after that.
Well, Bill's done a few of those, and you know, that's the same exact thing he did earlier, where he hit something at real slow speed, and the ball is just going to throw a lot at low speed. You've got to cut the ball more, and I know how tough that is for people to convince themselves to do that, especially that shot where you're hitting it with inside, because when you hit that harder, you know, the ball squirts and it cuts it even thinner. So when you get at that shot and you hit it slow, now the cue ball's like curving. There's more friction between the cue and object ball because it's slow. There's more friction because you've got inside on it. And all of a sudden you just shove it right into the rail. And that's one of those things that, you know, you've got to learn and you've got to get a good feel for it. And that's a place Bill could probably improve his game because we've seen him make that mistake a couple times now.
Slim, why don't you tell Steve about our sensational victory last night in the 9-ball Scottish doubles? That's more important. Tell him about my sensational cut down the rail as well, and how we were 4-0 down and we won 7-4. And I'm just bringing up the Celtic game on BT Sport just to keep an eye on what's happening. See if they can actually get a win.
If Bill can minimize his failures to get out, then I think he's going to win this match. You know, because he's definitely out moving him. The problem Bill has right now is he's just, you know, made more mistakes, like missing balls that you don't want to miss. That's the difference in this match. That's why Spectredawn's ahead, is because Bill keeps missing balls. If he can get rid of that, he's going to win.
Don't tell Steve that part. Don't tell him that part, Slim. Don't tell him that.
Yeah, and we're getting the 6 ball. Well, that helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, you've still got to get to the 6 ball, though. That's what it matters at the end of the day.
This is what Bill did not need.
No.
He just, and this is, you know, it's sitting pretty good. We'll see what he decides to do with the 2 ball. He'll probably go up table with it, is my guess. Shoot it in the corner.
This is just a perfect exercise for Spectredawn to run the table.
Yeah, he'll shoot this in the corner, I think, and just stun over and shoot the 3. And well, the 3 doesn't go on the side. It'll be interesting to see what he does here.
Well, he'll probably come back across for it down into this bottom left-hand corner pocket. That looks like the sort of line he'll want to get to. I don't think he can't go forward.
This is a shot that a lot of people aren't comfortable with, because it's real easy to bring it behind the 9 ball if you're going to try to stun over for the 3.
Well,
see the cue ball?
Yeah.
See, the way you need to shoot that shot is you need to shoot that shot with a little bit of right English, and people don't like doing that. Stun or draw with inside English, people don't like that shot. You know, it's like, oh no, you know, that's like they got the cross up, the vampire cross when they see that shot. Well, that's a shot I shoot in real life real well. I would have definitely put some inside English on that and guarantee that I get straight across.
I don't like this, because that was
that's not
the 5 ball, but he's got
that's a crazy way to play position, where you got like 4 inches you can roll. You got a 4-inch window.
Oh, he needs to get the pace in this cue ball. He needs to run, and he's got there as well. Well, I'll tell you something, he's living on the edge here. What am I talking
he's not
about?
shooting a 6
I'm
next year. He's
I'm
shooting a
forgetting
5.
about 6. That's the first one of the night. At least they got the right player. It was Bill.
But, you know, I was polite and let you finish your mistake.
Yeah, make a proper asshole of yourself and then tell him. It was the excitement of knowing that Celtic's up 1-0 at the moment. That was it.
Now, the smart thing to do here is just drop back a foot. Or run it at the 10. I like that too. Just put it, don't do something where you're going to hook yourself. Well, Bill got a break there. Took advantage of it.
Well, the error on the 2 ball was unexpected from Spectredawn. It's unexpected errors. It's going to cost.
It wasn't that unexpected where he got on it. That was a funny shot. You know, most players don't like that shot. And Spectredawn didn't shoot it the right way.
And
I'm not saying he couldn't. I'm not saying that he couldn't have had success shooting it the way he did, but it just makes it a lot tougher.
Well, the thing about being a champion in this, whether it be real life or whether it be just a game like this, is you've got to come through the hard times. You've got to battle, and the champions will battle. So Bill's in this position where he's trying to hang on to Spectredawn.
Let me clarify something. Spectredawn missed the 2 ball fat.
Yeah.
So and he didn't get hooked in the 9 ball. So it's easy to say, well, if he would have shot the 2 ball in the pocket, the 9 ball would have been in play. And that's true, except when you shoot it that way, it's very speed dependent, you know, on where that cue ball goes. You can't attack the ball. If you put a little inside on that, you can wham that, and it's not very speed dependent as far as where the cue ball is going to go. It's still not going to go behind the 9 ball. So it essentially makes your margin for error bigger, which is what you're looking for on pull shots. If you can make your margin of error as large as possible, it gives you more room to not hit it right and still execute.
Well, that was a brave shot by Bill playing the bank, and he's got away with it. He's got away with it,
yeah.
I think.
Well, especially against a guy that doesn't move well. See, you know, against a guy that moves really well, you know, this may not be so wonderful. But I don't think Spectredawn's going to have a very easy time of getting safe here.
That one cuts, yeah, he's got it really thin, but of course he's only doing that to get control of the table because he's no shot in the 2.
Well, I imagine he'll play this on the left side of the 2 thin. He's got the 3 and 4 down here.
No.
Oh, he's hitting it real easy. I don't like that.
I
don't like that at all.
Yeah.
Well, that's, you know, this is a kick behind all day. I don't know that he can get the cue ball to stop there. It's going to be tricky, but
now, do you need
he
to
certainly can get the 2 ball going up table.
You need to play this with a bit of left, you know, to hit the rail and kick the 2.
He's playing a combination.
What combo is he playing? What, the 2-10?
He's playing
he's
a 10 ball.
10. Ah, right.
I'm not sure he has enough of the 2 to shoot this. No, he didn't. I think he just fouled.
Yeah, it's a missed call.
Yeah, he didn't have enough of the 2 there. He should have kicked off the end rail at the 2.
Well, what do you do here, Steve? The missed call, you're at the table, there's the 2 ball. What do you do? Do you put him back in, or do you play? What are you going to do? Are you going to try and thin it on the right-hand side and use the 3 and 4?
I guess he didn't foul. I thought he fouled.
No, it was a missed call. He potted a ball into the side.
I'd probably shoot this, play safe, and try to get him on the 3-4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's making Bill shoot again, and that's what Bill's going to do. He's going to try to get him on the 3-4. And he didn't get him. He hit it pretty good. He didn't get him.
Well, now Spectredawn's got to go for 6-7. Unless he goes for the bank.
Well, he's going to shoot this 2 ball, cut it in the pocket. Yeah.
Where's this 10 ball going?
Watch out,
Where's
10 ball. Watch out, 10 ball.
Oh.
Boy. Well, that was a fortunate roll there. That could have been ugly. But he's got it, and I'm sure he's running out here. It was just a shocker if he didn't.
Well, this is taking a pattern that Bill won't like. He can't get back in par.
You know, I mean, I think Bill played well, I would have played a safe kick on the 2 instead of playing that 10 ball. I didn't see how that was going, but you know, Bill played a pretty good safety on the 2 ball then, and you know, it just didn't work out for him. It's not always going to work out. I mean, obviously, when you just flat out miss a ball, that's a mistake. I mean, I wouldn't say Bill played a terrible safety there. That's one of those sort of borderline calls as to whether that's a mistake, because he played a pretty good safe. It just wasn't good enough.
So back to 2 in front.
That's Bill's break again. Bill needs to get a ball in the hole and a shot on the 1 ball and run out. There haven't been a lot of break and runs tonight. Bill had 1.
Now, that was dry, wasn't it?
Yep, and that's no good. And
the 1 ball's on.
Yeah, and this is a pretty good rack. I mean, the hardest part of this may be getting on the 2 ball. Let's see what he decides to do.
Well, I think he's going to try and get into a gap. Yeah. And
he's hit it pretty good.
He has avoided the 4.
Yep, that's a good shot. He's just fine there.
Well, the obvious thing is, I mean, the angle he's got here, can he come back into this gap? Let's have a look. Does he want to come back into this gap? Because he's going to have an easy combo, and he's missed the 2. Why didn't he? Why? Well, I don't know. I mean, did he have to try and really get right down onto the 3 like that? Could you not have cut the 2
He didn't.
back into the gap?
He could just put a little inside and come across.
Yeah, just come back into the same gap. You're never going to miss the 9 ball playing the combo.
He's going to play the bank here. He's got to watch the kiss. He needs to maybe draw this a little. No, it wasn't even close. My bad.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
Well, that gets the 9 ball out of the way.
Well,
but
and this is not an easy kick here. There's nothing easy about this kick, especially because there's no good place to get safe. You have to get lucky.
That ain't it, though.
Yeah, and he did not get lucky.
The strange thing is, he never called the pocket.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Maybe he just forgot, because you would have thought he'd call that pocket.
I never saw that he had called it.
That's you know, when you get a situation like that where there's not a lot of cover around the ball and you've got kind of an unnatural looking kick, that's a tough shot, because chances are if you hit it, you're still going to give up the table and sell out. But that's actually, when you get those situations, when you got to think about hitting it harder to get the balls to separate, get them to move up table.
Why does Steve sound like he has COVID? Because he's got most of a biscuit up his left nostril.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. You heard the amount of coughing when I was trying to cough up that chocolate chip cookie.
Well, here we go again. Bill's going to be trailing by 3.
Yeah, Bill's getting himself in trouble here, because you know, we're getting to the point where you don't want to be behind this many.
Well, the big change in the match could come in this next rack. If Spectredawn can get a break and a shot and really drive the advantage home.
Yeah, Spectredawn breaks and runs out, Bill's in trouble, because you know, now it'll be 5 to what is it, 5 to 8.
Yeah, 4 rack lead is a bit of a tall order. Well, first thing's gone Bill's way as it's dry. He's got a 1 ball into the side. He's probably going to have to play a 2-8 combo. If he can
Well,
avoid
you
running
can run
into
into
the
the
two.
2 ball with this shot here. You can shoot the 1 and run into the 2, but
Part of the problem is he's stuck to the rail again. He's got
I
not
think
much
he can
he
get
can do.
by the 2, and maybe if he hits at the right speed, come up with a shot. Well, he didn't make the ball.
Well, that one won't cut in, I don't think. It's too...
He's got the edge here, but this bank is mucho hard because you have to hit this with a lot of left English to hold the cue ball, hold the 1 ball. Yeah, see, I think he was shooting a bank, and oh my God.
And he didn't call it. It was...
Yeah.
Oh, did he? No, he didn't. It was a missed call.
Yeah, I thought maybe he was shooting a bank. I guess he wasn't.
Well,
that bank is doable, but it's a tough shot.
That was one way of doing it. Well,
Bill, I think you play safe here.
Well, he's not called the 8, so...
well, the problem is if you play that 8 ball, is that
get it on.
You're not going to get a shot on the 2, and I don't know if he's got them. Yep, he does have them. That's a good shot.
That's good. And I'll tell you, the other thing is there's no line around the 3 ball to get to that 2.
Sam would probably jump this ball.
Well, let's look at what's his options. 2 rails, he's going... No, he's trying to lock something up with the look of it. He's thought about that. Now, could you not go to the top side, just to the left of the 6 ball, and go 2 rails to try and kick that too? Well, he tried to spin it. But I was wondering...
Yeah, you could have.
I was wondering whether he could just go to there and try and get maybe that way or into the corner and bump it or whatever.
I think that shot was on. But, you know, I mean, you're talking about a guy that doesn't kick very well, and the 2-rail kick that way is, you know, you got to understand the ball path, and that probably wasn't an option for him.
Well, I hope for Bill's sake he doesn't regret this. But, I mean, it should go in.
Well, I mean, I think this is the right shot, to be honest with you. I mean, it's
going in.
It's not a hard shot.
So back to within 2.
Yeah, Bill really needs something good to happen on this break, and it doesn't look like it's going to.
And when you say something good is not a dry break and leaving Spectredawn on the 1 with a shot and the 2 to follow, 3 into the side, 4 into the other
pretty
side.
Much a
and he's
connect
got
the dots table too. This is like
this is your worst nightmare. This
I might even be able to run this table out.
Spectredawn will feel really mad if he can't do this. I'll tell you.
Watch out. Oh, that was close. Little bump on the 6 and he could have been hooked, but he's okay now. Yeah, that was exactly what Bill didn't need. It was a sellout break. I used to be an expert at that break.
Well, I think everybody's had their day at that. You know, you're breaking and you're breaking good. The balls are all opening up, but nothing's going to a hole, and then everything's set up for the guy coming in.
I can remember I played Santos. We had an end of the world tournament when, you know, the Mexican whatever end of the world, the Mayan end of the world. We had a hard time, so I get Santos the first round. I broke 6 times. I made 1 ball, and it was the cue ball. In the meantime, that little bastard's making 2 balls every break.
Where's this cue ball going? Where's this cue ball going? Dear, oh dear. Unbelievable. So, I mean, you leave that way short, Steve. You know, up in the side pocket, you've still got the shot in the 9. Why? He had to get right down on it, I don't know.
Yeah, he just overhit it. I mean, the thing is, though, is it's not just overhit, it's on the wrong line. Yeah, you don't want to play that line either. But
this is it's a type of thing that Bill needs to happen.
Did he call a pocket?
No. And
why wouldn't you at least call a pocket there?
Because he's not in the habit of doing it. That's the thing. You know, this is.
Well, I think Bill has to shoot this bank. I mean,
he's got to go for it.
I just don't see not shooting this.
And the cue ball's coming in the right direction. It's going to go 2 rails. He's got to get the pace nice. to give this every chance to go in, and that is pretty good. That was excellent.
Well, that's better than pretty good. That's like perfect.
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
That's the pace you want to play it at. Get it to hold that line, and that was a sigh of relief from Bill.
All right. Well, Bill's been in this position before, and every time Spectredawn's pulled back away, and it's looking like that may happen again with this break, because that's, you know, that's what you want. He's got to loosen this 3-ball up, and this is tricky because you could scratch off this 3-ball really easily.
Well, this is the most important shot in the rack right here.
Yeah, I think you have to try to pull this ball up into the 10 and let the 10 go into the 3-8. Going straight at the 3 is, you know, you could scratch off the 10, you could scratch off the 3. This is a risky shot.
Well, he's got the hat. He's going to have the shot.
He got the 10 and didn't scratch. He got the 3, and he might have got a shot. Yeah, he took the chance, and it looks like he's gotten away with it.
Now, what do you do here? Do you go all around the table and leave a 4-5 combo?
This is tough because you got to just miss one side of the 7 to miss the other side of the 7, and he may go straight up and down and shoot the combo. Well, he did the hard shot.
That is excellent as well.
That is really good because that's a hard shot. I mean, to get the line right on that shot where you're hitting the ball with like a kind of like a stun with a touch of low on it, that's a very difficult shot. That was impressive.
He could have ran into that 7-ball on the left side as we look at it, finished down in this bottom left-hand corner and no shot.
Honestly, if it was me with that shot, I would have gone straight up and down and tried to get on the 4-5 combo just because that's such a hard shot. You know,
where's this cue ball going? Where's this cue ball going? He's okay.
That's the thing about the line. If it's a line like that where you're just doing it with a little English, that's not that hard. But when you have to start doing like stun shots like that and trying to get that line, that's very difficult. Well, Bill, this is a well-deserved win, this rack.
Bill doesn't want to think back to this first rack of this match, how this match could have been totally different the way it's gone. Spectredawn won the lag, or Bill won the lag, came up dry. Spectredawn, I think, was at the table. Bill gets a chance, and then the two of them made mistakes in the first rack. Bill should have won it. He loses that, and he's been trailing all the way through.
Yeah, and that was like the third time he's been within the game, and every single time Spectredawn's been able to pull away again.
And then
to a 2 or 3 shot lead.
I'll tell you something also. Bill's stats for his break's going to drop a bit after tonight.
Yeah, he's going to be. Spectredawn should be buried after this.
Oh, Bill will.
Oh, it's Bill. Oh well, Bill may not be because Spectredawn doesn't move good, and this shot's a little tricky getting the line. You want to run the line towards the 6-ball. You got to make sure you don't make the 6-ball. He may do something else. He may shoot at this. Well, he's calling the 6-ball.
Well, what about playing a 2-in-1 shot where you're cutting the one onto the 6 and you're coming down the narrow side here behind the 4 and 8 and looking for cover?
You could, but the problem is you make the 6 and you may hook yourself. You know, it's not really a good ball to shoot at. You know, he's gotten safe, but you know, that wasn't a good two-way shot.
Here's a delicate one, really delicate to drop behind the 6. He hit it too heavy. He had the right idea, but too much weight on it. And it could have been that cue ball opening right in behind the 6 there.
Watch this.
There's a cue ball going.
Watch this. Watch this. Yeah, well, you know, that's just being uncomfortable because Spectredawn's a good enough player to know where the cue ball's going, but you know, he's so out of his element playing safe that, you know, he just, you know, it's like the brain starts doing strange things when you're not in your element.
Welcome to Tommy. Oh, this is a big rack for Bill. Well, they're all big for Bill, but this is as big as they come. Where he's got to now, he's going to run into this 9. Oh, he's avoided that.
Well, go. He underhit a little, but he's okay. I mean, that's a good shot there. So you would think he'll be out. I mean, he's got to deal with this 4-ball. It goes. But it'd been nice if he got a little brush on that 4. He may have been trying for that.
Well, Tommy,
you know, luckily the 5's easy to get to because he needs to get on this 4 good.
Yeah,
ideally you'd like to just roll this 4-ball. Let's see, can he do that? Yeah, he can do it from where he's at.
Yeah, four's
Because
fine.
you don't want to hit this hard. It makes the pocket small, and that's perfect. So it looks like Bill is going to get out, and it's going to be 9-8. Spectredawn breaking, which, you know, every time he's been within 1, you know, Spectredawn's done something amazing. Or Bill's, you know, giving up the game.
Tommy, just you've asked the same question that Semi Pro has asked, and what happens if you? Oh, hang on a minute. We have Mr. Bill has taken a break. He's lost his connection. He's probably on his laptop for that matter. That's probably why. We will answer your question later on, or at least I'll give you an idea how things are going. Remember, you've all had a chance to vote on my YouTube channel. I will say that 9-ball is in the lead, but it's not a huge lead. And Bill is back. That was quick. I hope that hasn't distracted him.
Nah, but that's not going to bother Bill. Bill's one of those guys. He may not get there, but it's not going to be because he let stuff bother him.
Yeah, that's a controlled stun draw shot that I like. That everybody should become good at. I think this might be a bit straight, but I think it's just a soft roll through for the long 10. Well, here we go again, Steve. He's back to within 1.
Yeah,
and
Spectredawn's break, but you know, I mean, Spectredawn's probably going to break dry more than he makes a ball. So I mean, it's just a question: is Bill going to get a shot, or you know, he doesn't want to have happen what happened last time, where Spectredawn makes 2 balls and runs out.
Tommy, by the time you get back tomorrow, the UK might have a new Prime Minister again. You never know.
Well, he's got a ball in, and he's got a shot on the 1 ball, and I think it's good enough that he can get out from here. I mean, this is the key shot. Make this 1 ball and not hurt yourself on the floor. I don't see any big problems here.
Oh, hang on a minute. It's got the bump.
So he made 2 balls on the break, and he's got a good I mean, poor Bill every time he gets within 1.
Exactly, yeah. Spectredawn is just keeping him at arm's length. But the thing is about this type of pattern in the match, you just got to just focus on what's in front of you, you know, and you just hope things will happen. Something will happen at some point. Problem is we're running out of racks. If you're in Bill's corner.
The water's already under the bridge as far as the previous play where Bill made a lot of mistakes. So he's just got to hope he gets some chances and things go his way and he plays well. Well, he's a little straight in on this.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have to go around the corner.
Going to have to get there.
He's going to jack up on it, which could be a mistake.
Well,
I'm not sure what that was.
Well,
I'm not sure
first of all, Steve, where was the English to get that cue ball to punch up the table somewhere with a better angle in the 7? I mean,
now what's he doing? I guess he's going to play safe. That's a terrible save.
Well, it might not be. Let's have a look. No, well, at least I think Bill can see an edge. What's he called
I
here?
mean, this is a pretty
Trying to
easy
play the
bank,
bank,
and
yeah.
you just hit this at the speed where if you miss it, you're going to come out in the middle of the rail.
That'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way to play that ball. I mean, the only thing that could happen is if it hangs up in the pocket.
Yeah, he gave it every chance to go in, but there was enough pace to get it out of there.
I mean, typically you want to miss it on the thin side, and he didn't, but it's fine. And that's no good. I mean, Spectredawn, you know, even just a simple little two-way bank shot, and Bill gets him on this, where, you know, it's like Spectredawn loses the game.
Good evening to Ron. Ron Freeball, who comes out of the blue every 9 or 10 months. That's the third person that's asked the same question. I think you've got to go with the crowd at the end of the day.
Well, you know, Bill's finally getting there, and he's getting there because he just outmoves Spectredawn. I mean, it's really been that way this whole match.
Well, this could be the turning point, because now it's Bill's break.
Bill just needs to not make mistakes, because he's going to outmove him. And when he gets in a situation where, you know, he's not sure, he's better off playing safe, because, you know, he's got a huge advantage in the moving game here.
I think Bill's break tonight's been awful. He's just not had anything.
Well,
did he ever have a ball in the break in this match?
No. So this is the shot that you guys don't like, that I think shouldn't be missed. But if he gets this in, he's probably running out.
I know what I'd be doing. I'd be calling the 3 and hoping I get lucky in the 1. That's what I'd be doing. I'd be billiarding the 3 ball in. No,
yeah.
He went for it. Now here we go.
And as I mean, guys, you got to look on the other side of the ball when you got that shot. You can't be on the front of the object ball.
Well, you need to do a diagram on that, Steve, to explain it to these guys. Explain your theory to them.
It's not a theory, it's what I do.
Well, here we go. Bill has now. What does he do? I think you just take your medicine here and just stop the cue ball.
You just stop this ball and then, you know, cut the 4 ball.
Now,
you just cut this and let it go back and forth.
Yeah, well, you don't try and get cute and take the 5 into the side, because that's asking for trouble with the 10 ball.
You go back and forth. If you land on it good into the side, you do.
Oh, dear.
This has been the story of this match. Is Bill has just missed a lot of balls, and that's the only reason Spectredawn isn't behind 3 or 4 games. Is Bill keeps missing balls.
It's going to be an even bigger miss if Spectredawn can nip this 4 ball into the side. That's what he's going
I
to
would
go
imagine
for.
he's going to. I think he's out here.
Well, again, I'd be worried about the 10 ball here, because this cue ball.
You just roll this. There's no way the 10 ball's in play if you roll this.
You got to get the 4 to the hole though.
Yeah, but see how hard he hit it, and the 10's still not in play. Yeah, there was no problem there. Well, Bill's not out of it yet, but he's not doing himself any favors.
Well, that's to me, this is a big rack. You know, he was staring, going into the lead there, Bill, big time, and he's letting it go. Well, I suppose now the question is how Spectredawn's nerve going to be now that he can see the finishing line. He's pretty good at that in Friday Night 9 ball, but this is a different kettle of fish. He knows how important it is to try and go all the way in this tournament. We'll see how that comes into play if there's any evidence of it. But this is a sore one for Bill. Oh, there's Stubb. Stubb's in the house. Stubb the American who pretends he's Polish. Well, Spectredawn gets the 2 ball. He's going to have a bedhead cut in the 1. And he's going to have a shot in the 3, no problem. We can guarantee you that. He'll have a shot in the 4. The 5 ball goes past the 6 and 7. And this is not looking good straight away off the bat here for Bill.
So here we go again. Is Spectredawn pulling away again, huh? Well, that's not going to do it. But
is he going to leave the gap? No, yet. Well, he's leaving a gap, I think, to see the 1, but
yeah,
Bill's got to avoid the double kiss here.
This safety is a full blast right English. Hit the 1 ball thin. Take the cue ball behind the 1 ball and hook him on the 6 and 7 ball. Yeah, he tried something different.
That ain't it.
Yeah. Well, he had a safety play there. It was a little tricky, you know, but it was there.
Yeah, the audio is goosed.
Well, now we're looking at potentially 11-9. See if he can run this rack out. I mean, other than the fact that the situation, he's got himself a little funny on this 4 ball, but he's okay.
Do you seriously think I would go out to work and leave a pet in the home on its own with nobody to tend for it? Semi-pro. He'd be shitting all over the house.
You got to decide which side you're going to here. I'd imagine he's coming back and shooting the 7 in the same pocket.
Sylvia makes a valid point there. Stubbs' chances are better than semi-pros because at least he's in the tournament.
Yeah, he's going to the backside, which is okay.
Well, this is a big ask.
Well, you know, I would have gone front side there, but I just think, you know, it's easier. Now he's going to have to hit this with a little bit of inside English too, which, you know, makes it harder.
Yeah, he's got there though.
Of course, that's right in the middle of the pocket, so. Olaf in Portugal. Brain fell out's in Portugal.
Well, that's where all the pensioners go this time of year for good weather.
This 9 ball is pretty much frozen on the rail.
Oh, this is awkward.
Yeah. Well, he got it in. I guess he's shooting this. I'd shoot this maybe in the corner instead of the side. He's going to go for the side.
Tall order for Bill.
He can shoot straight.
Big pressure break here for Bill. He needs something to happen. His break's been terrible.
Semi-pro, don't you know it's what have you done for me today? Well, and there's a dry break by Bill, and, you know, it's just all going wrong right now for Bill.
I think it's all went wrong from the start. Horrible.
Well, I mean, Bill's done it to himself, missing balls, because, you know, if you took away how Bill's missed balls, just cut him in half, he's up by 3 games right now. I mean, he's outmoved Spectredawn badly in this match. I mean, it's just it's all been missed balls.
Well, we missed the first. We missed the lag in the break. The assumption is Bill
that was
broke dry.
Nice shot there.
And Bill's break left the building right at the start of this match. And
it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the break stats because I agree. I don't think Bill is broken the way he normally has. Oh, he's surfing. Wow. I got a friend that surfed there. He surfed in, I don't know, where's that famous place down in Argentina and in Chile. I got a friend, and when he's 25, he bought a sailboat and spent 5 years sailing around the world by himself and went to all the greatest surf spots in the world.
I would imagine Hawaii would have been on that list.
Yeah, well, he went to Hawaii, but I guess there's a number of places. There's some place in South Africa, and there's some place in Portugal, and
Yeah, big tides you need for big
but if
waves.
he's surfing 90 footers, he's doing towing surfing. There's no way you're surfing 90 footers without a jet ski to tow you in.
Well, Spectredawn's going to be in the hill. I'm pretty certain about that. This 8-ball's a bit tight though, and he's not got himself perfect in the 7, but the only worry is the 8's a little bit tight to the rail.
Yeah, I mean,
And obviously
he just needs to get, he either wants angle or straight on the 8. Either way is good. I think he'll go for straight, and that's fine, especially bumping the 9-ball out. He can just roll this with a little bit of right English if he wants.
Yeah, just dead weight and leave the long 9.
Now, see, he's going straight. Everybody goes straight. I'd put a little right English on that shot every time.
Well, this is not going to have pretty reading the stats for this match for Bill, because I'm sure his break has been the worst in the tournament for him, definitely. Might be the worst for anybody.
I doubt it's the worst for anybody, but it's probably one of his poor performances.
So,
well, I mean, he's not out of it, but it's
Spectredawn breaking for the match.
He's probably going to need some help from this point if he's going to win. And oh, I thought that 1-ball was going in.
Now, how tight is this 1-ball for a? Oh, he's on the 1. I'm looking to see where the cue ball is. Couldn't see it right in the middle of the table. Well,
he can hit this 1-ball with inside and just kind of come straight out.
Well, it's all fairly simple for Bill now because it's no missed pull. It's pot everything you see, and when you get the next break, if you survive this rack, it's pot a ball and run out.
Yeah, what's going on with Bill? Did he lose connection again?
Yep, you're right enough. He's gone.
Yeah, he'll be back.
Yeah, it's quick. He's definitely on his laptop. His laptop's on the Wi-Fi, and
well, and he missed the ball. He must have caught the titty. And he didn't need that. He needed to run out there. Boy, I'm surprised he didn't shoot that. I mean, that was kind of a tricky little safe. And he didn't pull it off. I'm surprised he just didn't shoot that 1-ball.
Now, has this 1-ball got a path around the angles? Let's have a look at the angle.
Well, this 1-ball, you bank this 1-ball. That's what I'd be doing here. It's pretty much a straight in bank because it's gonna hold up off the rail. Well, it didn't hold up enough.
It needs to bounce.
I think he just had to hit that with speed. I guess he was playing safe there.
Well, I missed what pocket that Spectredawn's called. May well have called this bottom right-hand corner just in case.
Well, that's going to leave Bill a pretty nice situation here.
Yeah, 1 goes in, no bother.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be a little careful here with the cue ball, though. He's going to drag it to make sure.
Oh, this is going to end up nowhere.
Way overhit it. Well, I would be thinning this 2-ball and trying to get him on the 10. No, that's a good play too.
Well, let's brush the 6-ball.
Yeah, he still got him. That was a very good play. That was probably better than my idea because I think it was easier. He's going to shoot a masse here, I think. Here we go. Butts up, boys. Well, you got a piece of it.
This is going to get covered.
Yep. So just something as simple as that, being able to catch a piece of the 2-ball has got him looking pretty good right now.
Well, this could be Bill's last shot in this tournament.
He's going to 2-rail kick this, which is the right thing to do. You can get some cover here. Yeah, not needed to be on the other side of it. Yeah, you could be right about that, Hugh.
Well, this 2 doesn't cut up the table.
Yeah, he did the right thing there.
Well, that's not great because Bill can certainly get to that with a little jack up and a bit of spin. I mean, you can get around that 7-ball, no problem.
And it's definitely makeable where it is. But he's going to have to, I think he's going to have to jack up on this a little to get to make it. I don't think he can shoot this with just spin.
Yeah, he's got to just get the pace right because that's, you watch the cue ball.
That was way too much of a banana there.
Well, that may well be it now. Ball in hand.
Well, somebody's got the hook into Semi-Pro's mouth.
Oh yeah, they've pushed these buttons. Well, that was Sylvia. Blame Sylvia. She started it. See how she started it and then stays well out of the conversation. So, the 5-ball, he might just try and get himself up in the top side of it to play it long into this bottom right hand corner. He could end up playing the corner.
I'd be going 2 rails.
Trying to get in behind it.
Well, I'd never do that. I go 2 rails, and the reason why is you've got both the corner and the side pocket as potential targets there. The speed's not that hard. You just go forward, top right there. I don't get what he did.
Well, this is a Friday night 9-ball shot for Spectredawn, the one that's tough, but he hits in the centre of the pocket and he gets out.
Well, this is how you end up losing the match, is what it is. But
he's,
he had a simple situation to get on that 5, and he played it the way that's really hard instead of the way that's really easy.
Oh dear!
And that's the 3rd time Bill has done this match where he missed a ball that he rolled real easy and it threw out of the pocket. I mean, it's been consistent. He's got to figure out that when he hits it real easy like that, he's got to cut the ball more.
Yeah, and that was all because he was trying to hold a line that wasn't going to be interfering with the 7-ball, but he had loads of room to maneuver the cue ball and get around and into the table for that 6. He tried to baby it.
At some point, you just got to say, I'm going to go back and forth or around the corner or something. If you don't, if you don't like the shot and you're hitting it away where you could miss it, just hit it harder and do something else. Yeah, this is going to be it here. I mean, that's I can't imagine he's not running out from here.
Oh, this is done.
Well, Bill's got a lot of game. I mean, he could have easily won this match. He's just got to, get a few things cleaned up. I mean, it was really missed balls is what's cost him this match because You know, other than that, I think he's outplayed Spectredawn.
Well, it's well done to Spectredawn for getting through, but bear in mind that that although Barker's is not as familiar with this 9-foot table and not as familiar with 10 ball, once Barker's finds his pace, he's pretty good at finding his way out as well. So it's going to be an interesting match between Spectredawn and Barker, because that is the next match. So well done to him. And here's something that I discovered yesterday that none of you guys told me about, but I found out. Let me just see if we can get this to work. Hang on a minute. See if this will bring it up. Right, now hold on. There we go. Let me get rid of Discord. Right, so if we look at the bracket, this is me on an external browser, and look at the VP4. Look at the VP4 page now, the tournament bracket. We can see that Spectredawn has gone through to play Barker's, but the interesting thing with this is that this is the hidden dark mode that's available in Google Chrome that I didn't know about. It's not a great dark mode, but I'll tell you something, it works brilliant for me on this. If we go to
Good, so you're telling me I don't have to change it.
No, you do have to change it. You do have to change it something like this. But look at this though, Steve. Look, there's the match between Albinari and Stubb, and it's red text on the dark background.
Yeah, you gotta love it, Hugh. This is your new this is what's gonna save you right here.
And that's perfect. At least you get, and look at this on the tournament page, by the way. Watch this. I mean, there's certain things don't work because it's a forced dark mode. It's not perfect. I mean, for example, you can't see the bracket text on that, but that doesn't matter. Look at this, black background, white text, red text. You can see the date, no problem. Tournament information, black background, white text, everything is crystal clear.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, the Windows has the modes for people that have disabilities and can't see. You know, you can turn it on Windows too for everything.
But but this is just to give you an idea of somehow this optional dark mode in the internal browser should look like, something like that. Nice and clear, great contrast, and easy to see. Now let's look at the nightmare for Bill. Let's look at the stats here. Now, how did I find Mr. Bill the last time? It's Mr. Bill, isn't it?
Yeah, you have to put the dot on it, or you won't get him.
Mr.
Bill.
Bill. Why is it not finding him? Mr. Right, and then dot or period, as
What
you guys
are you doing? You keep erasing the whole thing.
Right, I've got him, and Spectre.
There you go.
Done. This is going to be horrible reading for Bill. Break stats. Look at Bill's. 0.2. I knew it was terrible.
Wow.
I knew it was terrible.
You were right. I thought it was going to be bad. I didn't realize it was going to be that. Look at the break percentages.
Yeah,
63% versus 27.
And Spectredawn's is probably one of the best in the tournament there. He's 1.09, almost 1.1.
Well, that's a good. Yeah, he broke really well because his overall tournament stats haven't been anywhere near that good. But and Bill's were really good. But that's going to drag him down.
Moneyball shot 100% each player. Rax ran, Spectredawn 3, Bill 1. But I knew that was horrible for Bill.
Yeah, well, Bill didn't need that because he might have been able to overcome the missed balls if he broke better.
Yeah, really horrible. And balls when at the table, 2.6, 2.5 balls each visit for Spectredawn and only 1.4 for Bill. But the break was the thing that let Bill down all. Apart from the errors, the break was a big say in that. It was terrible for him. You get absolutely no joy whatsoever. Now, let me go back to and get this to work. The main page. Let me just tab out of that, back into this. Now let's see if this works. I hope nobody's left because I want to try and find this thing with the votes that are on YouTube for the guys that who can still vote, incidentally. Now, is this the button? Let me find out if this is it.
Here is a suggestion I have had
Right,
for a long
this is
time
about
in
my cameras.
VP4, allowing us to use the numpad numerical
We'll wait
buttons
till
as
he's
camera
finished.
buttons targeted around the table. Why, you ask? It benefits anyone watching as a spectator. They don't have to keep using the V donut button to move around the table. It also helps anyone as a live
Are you going to
streamer,
show
me,
this to
to
me
have a
every
more
time I come
professional
on?
looking
No.
camera work. Players in-game themselves
This is
can
the first
quickly
time
tab
you've
the
seen this,
relevant
Steve.
camera buttons if they so
I've
wish
seen
to
this
during
before.
play and whilst also watching opponents shoot.
Right. The more
Not in
important
this
thing
form.
is, the more important thing is there's 2 votes on my YouTube channel under the community tab. If you go there,
Nobody's that excited about a bar table. That doesn't surprise me.
well, it gave them the
All
option
you
of it.
guys in the UK.
So, what should the next Virtual Pool 4 World Championship be? Should it be the 9-ball World Championships, 36%, 8-ball World on the bar table, which I really enjoyed when we did it. I thought it was great. Semi-Pro enjoyed it because he won it, I think. It's only got 9%. Cowboy alternate shot in the 10-footer, 27%. I would love that to win. The Snooker World Championships, 18%. And bank pool in the short rack, 9%. So 9% for bank pool and 8-ball world. The two of
Kind
them
of
are
means
struggling.
we're not going to do 8-ball world or bank pool. I
Yeah.
mean, snooker's kind of an outside thing. I don't know how long it's been since we've done one. I mean, cowboy. I'd rather do cowboy now than back-to-back rotation type tournaments.
So that's the vote, and the vote can still be changed if you guys get your finger out and get the votes in on the community page.
Yeah, if you haven't voted and you want to play, vote on something.
Go to the community tab. But the other interesting thing, just for Steve's benefit, is on the camera choices. Do you like my idea and suggestion for camera options in Virtual Pool? There's a total of 28 votes. That could do with a lot more. Yes, I think it's a great idea. I'd use it while I'm playing and spectating, 43%. No, I prefer the V button, only 21%. No, it's too much work for Steve.
Yeah. Well, I don't believe people would use it when they're playing.
No.
Maybe when they're spectating, because
well,
you know, people don't even use the X button when they're playing. They sit there and spin around the table.
The bottom line is 75% of voters would like it as an option, and I agree with them.
Yeah.
Right.
now, what do you do for a living? Don't you sell stuff, Hugh? Aren't you a sales guy?
No, I was in the past. I'm not a sales guy now.
Okay. Well, you've been a sales guy though, so you understand when somebody says they're interested, that's a long way from them buying it.
Yeah. So you talk them into it, Steve. You have to.
You get 70% of the people that say they're interested, and then 10% of those actually end up buying.
Oh, we use the X button, says Larry. He's the only one. But mind you, Larry's the only one that uses a trackball mouse. So there's the answer.
Well, you know, so I'm not saying some people do use the X button. I'm not saying
I never use it. I just use.
But from what I've seen, that's the minority.
Yeah, but anyway, what else we're going to talk about now? The handy thing is that Larry's here now. Larry will correct me where I'm wrong. Who is it that signed up last night first in the 9-ball Scottish doubles?
Yeah, Sylvia sent me a PM on that. It was Tommy and
Tommy,
somebody else.
Tommy actually signed up. Slim signed me up, and I agreed when I saw the message. So I signed up with Slim, but Tommy signed up and he put in a proposal for Yama Gucci-Taro to be his partner. Yama didn't show up, and if I'm right in thinking, and I'll be corrected if I'm wrong, their team average, I think, was 2,369 if Yama signed up, because Yama's got quite a high rating in 9-ball. So it would have been 2,369. Now, before the tournament started, Tommy ditched Yama and then took on VP Monster, who had a much lower rating than Yama. And so the tournament started. There only was the 3 teams in it as usual. But the interesting thing is that the question to you, Steve, is because
This was the 9-ball weekly Scotch doubles, right?
yeah, the 9-ball Scottish doubles. But the big question that needs answering is that Tommy signed up and proposed that Yama join him. So obviously a message was sent to Yama. He never got it and whatever by the back. That doesn't matter. But now that Tommy ditched Yama from his choice and chose VP Monster instead, when the tournament started, it turned out that Tommy and VP Monster had a 2369 rating when it shouldn't have been, as far as we're aware. So there's some sort of weirdness going on. And the question being, does your rating go by the first player you propose in the tournament, and it's overlooked if you choose a second player as your partner because the first one refuses, or something like that? Yeah, the rating didn't change according to Larry. And so they were hit with the fact that we were getting, me and Slim were getting the 6-ball against them. So that does definitely sound a bit weird.
It sounds like a bug, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, and it meant they were stuck with that all night when he changed the partners.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it.
Now, what else? Was there anything else I wanted to say? Well, the obvious thing to say
Well, we
is
got to look at the upcoming match.
The upcoming match we have is on Friday. It's exactly the same time. So what my plan is I'll start and do the first hour of Friday night 9-ball as a warm up. We'll watch at least one match in Friday night 9-ball, maybe a bit of another one, and then we'll have the hot seat match between Stubb and Albinario, race to 17, and of course the loser of that match goes over to the second semi-final, as I like to call it now. And of course, Spectredawn's going to have to battle through with Barkers to see who plays the loser of this hot seat match. That is all going to happen. Well, the hot seat match is on Friday, and I will be there for it. I can guarantee you that. Well, how's that going to go? Well, the first question is does Albinario feel he needs as much focus and attention put on this match as he did with Spectredawn? Because Albinario was in early in the day that he played Spectredawn, got a good 2 or 3 hours practice in, came in half an hour before the match against Spectredawn, got more practice in, and then of course was as solid as a rock pretty much in the match itself. Now, is he going to put in as much effort, or does he think he doesn't need to? That's the question. But,
He always got to be ready to play. I don't know, I don't know what he needs to do. He's won enough of these. I'm sure he knows. I mean, this match is, basically Stubb plays a lot like Spectredawn. He runs out a lot, and maybe doesn't play quite as smart as Spectredawn. And then Stubb's moving game isn't good. It's close to non-existent. So. He did. Well, maybe he's been working on it. Maybe he'll surprise me. But I think he's going to have to, for him to win this kind of world championship, he's got to be able to play safe and kick. And if he can't do that, then I don't see how he can beat somebody like Albin. Well, yeah, kicking and blasting is not kicking good. I mean, maybe you can get away with it in 9-ball, but in 10-ball where you have to call the shot, that's not going to do it. I mean, I mean, you got to do more than just hit the ball. So I think Stubb is going to be in trouble that match. I think he's going to need help from Albin to win. Well, I'll tell you what, Hugh, that is a really fine opinion. Unfortunately, nobody heard it.
I don't even know how I get muted. Anyway.
It's good. You're muted because you're a stubborn Scotsman who won't put his mute on something that you're not going to accidentally hit. just, I can't believe you haven't changed this.
Anyway,
neither can anybody else listening to this stream.
I've already changed it. Anyway, what was I saying? Anyway, well, I've said what I've said. Steve knows what I said. He'll explain it.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Stubb will go for his shots, so no doubt about that. Because Stubb's best form of defence is always attack. Albinario will be clever than him in terms of employing the safety side of the game, knowing when to wind it in. Stubb, I think, to put pressure on Albi, must have a good start. He must have a good start. He must win a couple of racks early on to apply the pressure and see how Albinario reacts to it. But I think in the whole course of events, there'll be far more mistakes from Stubb than there will be from Albinario if Albinario keeps up his high standard that he generally plays at. And in the end, that should get him over the line. That's how it looks on paper. And, but the factors that come into it, put it this way, if Albinario gets down to the level of Bill's break tonight, then Albinario is going to the one-loss side. As simple as that. If Albinario breaks as bad as Bill managed to, then Stubb's got a chance. But Stubb's always got a potter's chance, and potting his way out of problems. And if he goes to the well too often in that match against Albinario, then he'll probably still end up losing. That's how it would readily look to most people, because you know why we come to that conclusion. It's obvious, because we've seen it all too often, and Stubbs still to put his name on a trophy in these big events. In all the years that we've been here, he's only won one major tournament, and that's a long time ago in VP3, and he knows that.
Well, I think he is trying to change. I mean, we saw him, try to play different in the cribbage. And it was like a leopard without spots.
Oh,
but the more you try to do it, the better you're going to get at it. And maybe he'll.
Well, I mean, the one thing that impressed me is that he did play good in his last match. I don't think anybody else would disagree with me. He played good. He played two stupid shots. The first stupid shot he played, when he had like a 3-rack lead, let Barker's back into the match. And he shouldn't have done it. And then he went for another stupid shot. So if he can get rid of that idea of trying to win the match too soon, was what he did, and he could have ended up coming out looking really embarrassed at the end of it. But he broke away at the end. But if he tries that sort of stuff with Albinario, then it ain't going to get him over the line. I don't think. I think there's a lot of bad things need to happen to Albinario. A lot more bad things need to happen to him for Stubb to come out on top.
Yep, I agree. I just don't think he's got the. I don't think he's got the moving game to beat Albin. He needs Albin to make some mistakes, miss more balls than normal, break poorly. He needs some things like that to happen to be in the match.
Mm-hmm. So, I think we'll call it a day, and I might catch the end of the football.
I'm planning on being here for Friday's match. I think it's going to be exciting one way or another.
Yeah, well, I hope everybody else can join us. If you missed the match, remember it will be on YouTube. It'll be on the playlist. We'll add it as usual. You'll see it there. So thanks to Steve for joining us. Thanks to everybody for watching. Unlucky to Bill. Well done to Spectredawn. And good luck to Stubb and Albinario come Friday. And I'll be there, and I hope you can join us. Until then, we will bid you good night, folks. And thanks again.
Yep.
See you later. And there's no audio there either. And there's none there. We'll try it again. That's it.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.